I'm Chronix from the most extreme wrestling, and I'm here to talk to you about a sad moment in wrestling history. The Undertaker retiring. Yes, at Wrestlemania 33, The Undertaker finally went off into the sunset and retired. I think we all knew this day was coming, or at least in the back of our minds, in the back of our heads, we knew that it was looming. I thought even as early as WrestleMania 29 or 30 that it would be his last match. We had been hearing for years that he was about to retire. Oh, he was going to retire at 30. He's going to retire at 31. And it just never happened. But sitting there live in the crowd in Orlando, I was there, WrestleMania. I was sitting dead center of the ring, way up at the top, with tickets that should have cost $80, but I paid 4 times that because I got them from StubHub. It was all I could do. What can I say? I had to be there. I think we all knew pretty much when the match went on last, after the big, huge title match between Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, that if The Undertaker going against Roman Reigns was main eventing, then it kind of was foreshadowing that no matter what happened in this match, The Undertaker was having his last match. So when I saw that, I kind of knew, so I was trying to prepare myself. Still not an easy task. He took on Roman Reigns. It's debatable whether that was a good idea or a bad idea. Some people thought it was going to be John Cena in the last match, or it was going to be this guy, that guy. I can honestly say that me personally, it doesn't bother me at all that it was Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, if you saw the night after WrestleMania, the Raw after Mania, I mean, the man got booed for 15 minutes. People were chanting, shut the F up, and F you, and all this kind of stuff. Look, if you get that kind of an emotional reaction out of a crowd, hey, you you deserve to go against The Undertaker in a match like that. And yeah, I mean, you could say that he was getting those chants because he defeated The Undertaker, but the man is on up there. From what I've heard, The Undertaker personally chose him to be the man to go out in the final match. So, to me, I can't fault that. I was fine with it. I know it's controversial, but if it's The Undertaker's decision, he thinks that this guy is the next huge star of the future, hey, Undertaker's usually right. And I can see Roman Reigns being that guy, and to me, he's kind of already there. So, hey, it is what it is. So The Undertaker goes in, and seeing it live in the crowd, knowing that it was the main event, I was sad the whole time, but I was super intrigued because knowing the wrestling business, Undertaker has to lose on his way out. It's the right thing to do to put talent over. That's what happened. I liked the match, but it was bittersweet. I heard Roman Reigns say the same thing about actually beating The Undertaker, that it was bittersweet. And I can imagine so. That's a huge weight to bear on your shoulders, to have on your heart, even if your shoulders and your heart and your whole frontal body is covered in riot gear. It's still a hard thing to deal with. I loved his entrance. I was concerned seeing the WrestleMania 33 entrance because it was so freaking long that The Undertaker was going to have to spend a week getting down there. But smart by WWE by having a trapdoor kind of situation in the middle of the ramp where Undertaker rose up and then proceeded to walk all the way down. Then after the match, comes back, goes back down, and says his final goodbyes or whatever. So that was smart by them. I loved his entrance. Even though at the end of the night, the stage got on fire. It engulfed in flames on one of the sides. That was a little bit scary to me because I was so far up. I was thinking, if this place catches on fire and burns to the ground, how am I going to get out of here? But I know the WWE is very professional and they take a ton of safety precautions. There was fire extinguishers everywhere. And hey, if I had to run down to the ring and get a fire extinguisher, I know they got them under the ring. Whether they actually work or not, I don't know. But I know they got them because I seen them. But yes, being at this WrestleMania, it was great to see the Undertaker go. Very sad, very just like, oh. I think back, my grandfather, which I called my pawpaw, but like P-A-P-A. I know that probably a lot of people would call a pawpaw their father, but for me, when I was 4 years old, it made sense for me to call my grandfather pawpaw. So I would watch wrestling with him. He was very into it. He would just watch WCW, WWF, whatever the case may be. He would watch Superstars and all this, at home on his TV. I would come over, spend the weekend with him, and he would sit there and he'd watch it and just be so into it, laughing and just shouting at the TV. I was intrigued by it. I mean, we didn't have a lot in common. He liked westerns and all this kind of stuff, which I never could understand or get into. But when wrestling came on, I was looking over the couch like, what's going on? What's he watching? And one of my very earliest memories was seeing The Undertaker and seeing Hogan and Randy Savage and this. But I remember definitively seeing The Undertaker and thinking, whoa. I liked Hogan, I liked Savage. But when I saw The Undertaker, I was completely just mesmerized because this guy's all in black. I remember when he was building the coffin for Yokozuna. It was just terrifying, being a child back in the day, seeing this. And me and my papa, we connected over wrestling. I got into it over the years. I'd watch it here and there. I wouldn't see it every week. I would see it every once in a while. But anytime it was on and I was there, I would watch it with him. And as time went on, we started watching it more and more. We watched, as soon as SmackDown debuted, we watched every single episode until the day that he died, and in 2005. I would invite him over to my house. We would watch Monday Night Raw. This man got me so into wrestling, and he knew the history and all this kind of stuff. But I had always loved The Undertaker, and I was always a fan of his. And to see him very early on in 1990 or 1991, whatever it was, I had to have been 5 or 6, I don't know. But seeing him my whole life basically it's crazy to think. And it was a great bonding moment, for me and my grandfather. I remember seeing this meme that I'm sure everyone has seen probably by now. If you haven't, it's a picture, a drawing of The Undertaker coming down to the ring way back in the day. You got a little kid and a father, and then on the bottom it shows The Undertaker leaving, and you have the kid who's grown up and then the dad who's really old. And it reminded me of that. And I wish that my grandfather could be around to see The Undertaker retire, and just how much it meant to me as a wrestling fan, and how it meant to me that he got me into wrestling, because as you probably know, I'm a huge fan. That's no secret. So it was special. Seeing him go was sad. Man, I'm really really getting choked up about this. I know it's silly, it's wrestling or whatever, but man, that's a lot of years. I'm 30 years old now. It's been a long, long time, and I've seen a lot of The Undertaker's career. I remember going to Blockbuster, and one of the very first VHSs, no, it was the first VHS that I rented, and I think I ended up buying, because they would put VHSs on sale after a while, I guess because no one would watch them or whatever. I know I watched this one. It was This Tuesday in Texas, where The Undertaker defeated Hogan, and I think it was 92, 91, 92, something like that. And it was a Tuesday pay-per-view in Texas, and I think I still own that VHS. I've watched it a million times. not recently, but I saw it a million times. I've even watched it on the network at some point, and just remembering like, wow, I used to watch this all the time just because I love The Undertaker and he won the title. So it's crazy seeing that. Every video game I ever had with wrestling, from my first game that I bought, Royal Rumble for Genesis, The Undertaker was on. You know, I got a Dreamcast, Royal Rumble for Dreamcast, the man was on. I had an N64. You know, it's like every video game system I bought, The Undertaker was on the game, whether it was PS1, PS2, PS3, Xbox, all that stuff, all the video game systems. It's like he's on every freaking game. He's probably been in more games than anyone that I could possibly imagine. He has to hold the record for being like in the most video games. Has to be. But that just is a testament to how great the man was, how great of a legacy he has left. I mean, from all the gimmicks to the wrestler's court, you know, backstage politics, the stroke, the respect that this man demanded and had, and all the fans who supported him through the years. Truly a huge legacy under that giant hat and that coat. I've seen all the gimmick changes. I've seen so many promos. A huge inspiration to so many fans, including myself. And it was sad to see him go. But The Undertaker is retired. It sucks. I'm sad about it. But we got to look at the positive here. And the positive is this man is going to go into the Hall of Fame. And he might go in as early as WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans, which I hope to go to because it's about as close as it could be for me, other than Dallas. Can you imagine what this man's Hall of Fame induction speech is going to be like? It's going to be incredible. And what I've been wanting for years is for an interview with this man where he is out of character. The only time I've ever seen him out of character in an interview, the only one I can remember is the Peter Rosenberg, like 2003. I think it was before WrestleMania 19 he did one. If you haven't seen it, check it out on YouTube. It's a great interview, and he's out of character. From everything I can remember, it's probably been about 6 years since I've seen it. But a good interview, and to see a DVD where he's talking about life, where he's talking about his career out of character, that would be great. To see moments backstage where he's just hamming it up with Vince McMahon, that would be amazing. That's what I'm looking forward to see what he does afterwards. I know he's married to Michelle McCool. I believe he has some kind of business where he helps animals, maybe? I'm not 100% positive, but he does something along those lines, or he did. So it seems like the guy's got a big heart, and he cares about, you know, people and things and animals and stuff like that. So to hear the man speak out of character would be freaking amazing. I would love it. And even though he's retired, the man's not dead. The dead man's not dead. And he still has a lot to offer. Will he make a random appearance just for the heck of it in his gear? I don't really see that happening. I don't see him showing up at WrestleMania 35 in full gear and just you know, and saying rest in peace. I don't see that. I don't ever see that, honestly. But if WWE has ever taught me anything, when they say that anything can happen, I believe them. Did I think Goldberg was going to return? Never. Did I think he was going to win the WWE title in 2017? Never. Brock Lesnar coming back? No. Did I think that AJ Styles would be champion? That Kevin Owens would be champion? That Bobby Roode would be so cool in NXT? No. I didn't expect any of this stuff. But WWE, They're full of surprises. They continue to surprise us, and I think it's something that's kept me a fan all these years, because all the things that I thought could never happen, they seem to have happened. And I can just say that I was so glad and happy to actually be there in attendance to see The Undertaker retire. It meant a lot to me. It cost a lot of money to get to WrestleMania and to stay there and to eat and house myself and travel and all this kind of stuff. I'm not a rich guy. I mean, come on now. But I don't regret going whatsoever. I can say that. So, man, rest in peace, Undertaker. But I know that, you know, Mark Calloway, the man who portrayed The Undertaker, is not gone. And he's still got stuff to give us in DVDs, interviews, and just him as a person. And to know that just the Undertaker wrestling gimmick thing, that's really the only thing that's done. Everything else about the man is still there, and that's fantastic. But the man has such a wide legacy, you can never take that away from him ever. There's nothing in the world that can take away from that. The man put in so many years, countless matches, countless segments and moments that I will never ever forget as a fan. They are there. They are in my heart. And you can't take that away. So no matter if he had retired this year at 30 or WrestleMania 32, it doesn't matter. The man has a body of work that is unmatched. He had a WrestleMania record that will never be topped. I can't imagine that it would be topped. A legacy that I don't think could be triumphed. I don't think you get any bigger or better than The Undertaker. That's just me personally, just as a wrestling personality. He's untouchable in my book. And I think it's fantastic. So, rest in peace, dead man. I'm going to miss you, but I can always check out all your stuff on the WWE Network. I'm not trying to plug the WWE Network. They're not giving me any money. But I got the service, and I can always check it out and check out all those moments. So, thank you guys for watching. It means a lot to me, to my friends, my fans, one and the same. I met several of you at Wrestlemania over the weekend, and that was great. I still got recognized even though I have short hair now and it's white or whatever. A lot of you guys came up to me, introduced yourselves, shook my hand, took pictures with me. Man, you don't know what that feels like. It's an amazing feeling, and I swear I'm more excited to meet you than you probably are to meet me. Just knowing that you guys know who I am, and you know, you care and that kind of stuff. It really pulls at my heartstrings. It really, really does. And I hope in the future WrestleManias, I can meet more people and see you guys. I know I haven't been active over the past 2 years or whatever, but just know I'm still a wrestling fan. I don't think I'll ever stop being a wrestling fan, and you and I, we're always, you know, we're always tight, and we're always bros, and we're always in this together no matter what life throws at us. We will overcome, and that's just the way it is. Okay, I will catch you guys next time. I have a lot of stuff to say about WrestleMania and the insanity of all the things going around it, like how crappy my hotel was, to all the shenanigans it was to get to WrestleMania, and just the craziness. So I hope to do that in the next couple days, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.